My M26 girlfriend, 22, wants space. We've been together for almost 3 years now, and it's been absolutely incredible. She's a beautiful soul, and we never really fight about anything. We have been able to talk about whatever ails us without any problems. Like adults. There's never been any mind games or manipulation or gaslighting or anything unsavory like that. Never. It sounds cliché, but it's been nothing but smooth sailing for almost 3 years. We have so much in common. We get along even on things that we don't necessarily agree on. I can always understand where she comes from and in a lot of instances, learn from her. She helps me be a better person and to keep an open mind. It's been such a fulfilling experience being with this person, and nothing I've ever had in the past comes close. Which is what makes what I'm about to say so terrible. I visited her last weekend, and we spent a lot of time together. Everything was fine. However, on the way home, we don't live together as of yet. Something told me I need to check up on her. So I sent her a text when I got home, about 30 minutes drive. She greets me like normal, and everything seems fine. I then ask if she's sure, and she sends me a peculiar reply. She said she has something going on that she needs to work through and can't tell me about, and that she needs space to figure it out. I ask if it concerns me, to which she answers in the affirmative. I ask if we're fine. She says she doesn't know. So I'm freaking out, because frankly she's probably the person I've loved most in my entire life. I don't even think about anyone else, and as far as I have been told, it's reciprocal. She always says she loves me, and that she's gonna marry me and grow old with me, which is exactly what I want. I even encouraged her to pursue her true passion when her studies were getting her under. She ended up abandoning that degree and starting to do what she actually has a passion for, as opposed to what was expected of her. She's thriving and getting good marks and is generally just so much happier. She can be excited in telling me what she learns and what her interpretation is on it, which is wonderful. I'm so happy that she's succeeding, and it has been a pleasure watching her getting into a good mental space, where she wasn't before necessarily. I gave her a bit of space and eventually asked to come see her. My life is ending and I don't know why. That's not fair. As much as I love her, I can't just stand by and watch her battle with something while our relationship goes under. She eventually agreed and asked me to come see her. I made sure she was in a good space to have a conversation with me, and I was satisfied that she was. She could recognize that what was happening isn't really fair. So I went there, and everything started to make sense. So just for some context, my GF is bisexual, and she grew up in a household that repressed that sort of behavior. Very, very, very conservative. And she is the opposite of that. She's profoundly liberal, which I'm a huge fan of. What can I say? I like a woman who knows her worth and who cares for others indiscriminately. So the issue is that she's battling with her sexuality. She tells me that she's scared of waking up one day and realizing that she missed out. She's never been with a woman before. It's her first relationship. She's young. Marriage scares her, which was also new to me. She also said she feels like she doesn't have an identity outside of me. Her depression keeps her indoors, and she has trouble finding interests or hobbies and maintaining friendships. She refers to herself as a nothing person, which is ridiculous. She's lovely, and she has a lot of good friends who care for her. So this is all news to me, except for the bisexual part, of course. I knew about that, and it doesn't affect me at all. She wanted space to figure all of this out, but she was happy that she could finally tell me. I took her home that night. She insisted that it's what she needed. She wanted to be reassured and loved and held, which I'm happy to oblige. Anyway, she left the next day, and it's now 5 days later. It really started to sink over the course of the week how much uncertainty has been brewing beneath the surface for her. She can't even tell me that she still wants to be in this relationship, and part of me feels like a lot of it has been an act. She being okay and happy with me. The act dropped altogether as soon as I applied a little bit of pressure. Despite the fact that we've always communicated our issues to each and spoken about things like adults. It's part of why I love this relationship so much. She's my teammate, and we are just the best. And this is all just happening so suddenly, and part of me feels guilty for not realizing this is happening sooner, despite the fact that we speak every single day, frequently. I always make sure to check up on her mental state, because I know she struggles sometimes. I'm never impatient. Am I wasting my time here? We've been through so much together, and it's been so good for the both of us. And one day she just doesn't want to do it anymore? I don't get it, and I'm all but fed up with it. I told her today we should stop speaking until she figures it out, which I think is reasonable at the very least. So here I am, asking strangers on the internet about something that I was convinced just a week ago was completely unshakable. And I'm not exaggerating when I say unshakable.